Hello everybody, it's Emery48 here and welcome back to another video. Today we are diving into the Hockey East bracket. I have done plenty of videos discussing college hockey in the past, and today we are doing the bracket for the Hockey East tournament, which I feel like could be a pretty brutal one this year because they're only guaranteed, I believe, 2 teams into the national tournament, and currently no Boston teams are guaranteed in. Which means it could be a pretty physical tournament throughout and a fun one to watch. I think Hockey East has struggled a little bit this year compared to past years, but it's still a competitive conference within itself. And there's a lot of rivalries heating up, and it's playoffs, so that's always exciting. This is the bracket. We have the 1 seed Providence Friars, the 2 seed UMass Minutemen. I don't know why I made the bracket like this. It's fine. The 3 seed UConn Huskies. The 4 BC Eagles and the 5 Maine Black Bears. They are guaranteed to play each other in the quarterfinals. The 6 and 11 are BU and Vermont. The 7 and 8 are Northeast. No, 7 and 10 are Northeastern and UNH. And the 8 and 9 are Merrimack and Lowell. Now, it reseeds every round, so it was hard to find a bracket builder that actually does that, because Hockey East is weird. So I'm doing it myself, because this is simpler, and I can actually just do that. So, we'll start with the wild card round, with BU and UVM. Now, I think the way UVM has been playing to end the year has been pretty impressive, honestly. They've not been getting wins. They're like 4-12 when out shooting their opponent, which is just strange. But they don't give up, and it's kind of terrifying. I think this is going to be a really fun game to watch, a very physical game, but I do think BU is going to come out with the win. So we are going to... That's not at all what I wanted. Duplicate is apparently the button I needed. So for now, BU will go there to playing UConn. But if things get reseeded, which I'm going to, then things will change. So since I said I'm going to, let's reseed. I'm picking UNH purely out of spite for Northeastern not having a home rink. I just find it very annoying. So I'm saying that they're going to win. And they're the 10 seed, so they will be the lowest. So they are guaranteed to go play Providence, because it does not matter what happens in the Merrimack Lowell game. UNH will be the lower seed, which makes BU still the highest seed, so they will still play UConn. So the winner of Lowell and Merrimack will end up at UMass with 1 upset. And for me, as a completely unbiased Merrimack alum, we're putting Merrimack over there. And Hockey East, of course, reseeds every round. Because why wouldn't they reseed every round? That would be foolish to just make a bracket. We need to reseed all the time. So even this part of the bracket, it almost doesn't matter, because I think they reseed in this part too. It doesn't matter quite as much. I mean, it does the matchups, but once you're in the Garden, it doesn't do anything for home ice, because it's all on the road anyway. But this to me is a very exciting quarterfinals. Providence has been great. I don't think UNH has a chance at all, frankly. I think Providence is going to be a very, very hard team to beat in these playoffs. And putting Providence there helps us set the rest of the bracket, right? Because they're the number 1 seed, so everything else in this can fall around that. Let's go over to Maine and BC. I know BC is the home team, but they have been playing horrendously. They've lost 4 straight to end the regular season. And I think Maine's too much of a wild card to pick BC. I just think Maine can score very well. And BC on their day can, but they've not been on their day in a while. So I'm going to put the 5 seed there for now. That might change depending on how things shape up. We have BU and UConn. And this is tough. I don't think BU's had a great year. I mean, they ended as the 6th seed. They got to play in the play-in. I think UConn's the better team. I like teams that have the bye. It just, that feels like a real big advantage to me, not having to play the Wednesday before the Saturday. I think UConn beats BU. And this is a weird semifinal brewing right here. I don't like it very much. I like it, actually. I don't mind it. It's a lot of... There's no one from Massachusetts, and there's a guaranteed Massachusetts from here. So that balances things back out. But they are not the schools from Massachusetts you expect to be in the semifinals. Now, UMass has been playing great. In my opinion, the only way, or the best way for Merrimack to get to the semifinals is this path. I think UMass is our best quarterfinal matchup. That is not to say that they are a bad team. I just think the way that Merrimack has played UConn and Providence has been an issue. And there is a better chance at beating UMass. Although Harabel is disgusting. He is insane. Now, do I think that's going to happen? That's going to be a tough game. That's a real tough game. I'm going to bias punch Merrimack into the semifinals. It might be crazy. So we got to do a little reseeding here. Merrimack would then go to Providence, which is a big issue. Maine and UConn. The 3 and the 5 would be playing, and the 1 and the 8. And this is where Merrimack's run ends. I can happily say that. Providence is just going to not even bat an eye. I believe this is a rematch of last year's final or semifinal, which is kind of crazy. And I think the other way wins it this time. UConn has been the better team this year. In my opinion, early on in the year, from what I saw from UConn, they were the best team in Hockey East. That was before Providence really stormed away with it. And frankly, I haven't seen any Providence games since they've really stormed away with first place. This is a tough call for me because what I have seen from UConn in my head puts them on top. This is also the only way that Hockey East, I think, gets 3 in, because I think UMass is our second right now, but that might not even happen anyway. Frankly, I don't like either of these teams. Providence or UConn, I don't really like seeing either of them win. So this would be unfortunate either way. But I do think UConn has it. They were in, I think, just from what I saw, what I've seen from UConn, they just look like the better team. And I know Providence just beat UConn to end the year. So that probably means that they aren't. For me, I just like UConn more. The way that they played, they were very physical, which is hugely helpful in a Hockey East tournament. I think if you can weather the storm of physicality throughout a tournament like this, where you're playing a lot of good teams, I think that's a benefit. I also, looking at Providence's path, UNH and Merrimack, the quality is just not there. I don't think they have to play as well to get to the final, whereas UConn going through BU and Maine has to be in really good form. And I think that will also help them momentum-wise. So I am picking UConn to win this year's Hockey East tournament. I cannot wait for 2 weeks from now for people to come back to this comment section and tell me how absolutely wrong I am. And this was an ego decision right here. Realistically, I should be putting UMass into the semifinals, and the rest of the semifinals bracket looks a lot different and things change. But that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. I'm not going to ego chow them past Providence. That's insane. That's actually insanity. But that is my bracket. Let me know where you agree and where you disagree in the comments down below. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.